Welcome to the Cenario podcast, your guide to mental health and well-being. Each episode, we uncover practical tools, discuss expert insights, and explore how supplements can transform your mental health journey. Get ready to learn, grow, and thrive with us.
Have you ever looked at your to-do list you wrote just yesterday, and felt like your brain was just running on dial-up internet?
Oh, absolutely.
That feeling, where you need to focus, you need to remember something critical for work or school, but the thought process is it's slow, it's cloudy, and it feels completely unreliable.
It's got to be one of the most frustrating modern feelings. You're physically there, but mentally it feels like you're stuck behind this thick pane of glass.
Exactly. And that's what we're talking about today. Brain fog. It's not a formal diagnosis, of course, but the experience is so real. It's a state of mental fatigue, poor memory, and just an overall lack of clarity that can seriously impact your performance.
And that feeling is so often a direct signal from your brain that it's deficient in something vital. So for this deep dive, we spent time extracting the hard science, the essential nutrients and vitamins that can genuinely support your cognitive machinery.
So the mission is to help you improve memory and get back that clear, sharp focus.
That's the mission.
Okay, so the research we looked at was really consistent on the classic symptoms, more than just feeling tired. We're talking about difficulty concentrating on a single task, maybe a noticeable reduction in your reaction time.
Yeah, and that annoying forgetfulness, especially short-term memory stuff.
Right, and just feeling perpetually, mentally cloudy or unmotivated to tackle anything complex.
And if we look underneath the hood, the causes are usually layered. It's almost never just one thing. The key contributors are things like a poor diet, nutritional gaps, chronic stress that just never lets up, and so often a lack of quality, restorative sleep.
So when any of those systems falter, the brain starts, rationing its resources?
Exactly, and performance suffers.
Okay, let's unpack this immediately, because the brain is, only about 2% of our body weight, but it consumes this enormous chunk of our daily energy. Why is it so demanding?
Because it's the central command center, and it operates at high velocity, 2047. To maintain that speed, it needs a constant, optimized delivery system. Think of your brain not just as a computer, but as a vast city of electrical towers and communication lines.
And those lines rely on inputs.
A steady stream of inputs, key vitamins, minerals, and maybe, above all, the right kind of fats, like omega-3s.
So these aren't just general health benefits we're talking about. These are functional tools designed specifically for that neural network.
Precisely. They are the maintenance and communication crew that keeps the whole city running. These nutrients have highly specific jobs. They help transmit signals between brain cells, which basically speeds up communication.
Okay.
They act as antioxidants, protecting that delicate brain tissue from damage. They reduce inflammation, which is one of the biggest drivers of that mental cloudiness. And fundamentally, they're the raw materials for creating neurotransmitters, the things that dictate your mood, your focus, your ability to learn.
That makes the stakes really clear. If the foundational diet is weak, the whole structure just starts to wobble. And we saw the sources strongly advocate for a diet rich in whole foods, that Mediterranean model, right?
Yeah, heavy on fruits, vegetables, fatty fish, nuts, seeds. That is always step one.
Non-negotiable.
Absolutely. It's the ultimate starting point. But what the research also highlighted, and this is important, is that even people who think they eat well often have personal deficiencies, maybe from digestive issues or genetic needs or just prolonged stress. A healthy diet alone can't always meet those needs.
And that's where targeted supplementation comes in. It's the strategic gap filler.
It is.
I worry that listeners might feel overwhelmed, though. There are so many vitamins out there. Can we focus on maybe the 6 that the science really prioritized for fighting brain fog and memory loss?
Let's do it.
Okay, let's start with number 1, vitamin B12, the classic energy and memory enhancer.
B12 is essential for, 2 big reasons. First, it's necessary for red blood cell formation, which means proper oxygen delivery to the brain. Low oxygen means fatigue and fog. It's direct link.
Simple enough. What's the second reason?
Second, it's critical for maintaining the health of the myelin sheath.
Which is the protective coating around your nerve cells.
Exactly. The insulation. When that coating degrades, communication just slows way down.
I worry listeners might think, oh, I eat meat, I'm fine. What's the specific risk factor here that we might not know about?
That's a great point. The key insight is that B12 absorption relies on adequate stomach acid, and our ability to absorb it decreases significantly with age. Some common medications can interfere with it too. So even if you're eating eggs or meat, that B12 may not be reaching your brain effectively.
And that can lead to things like confusion, memory problems.
Yes, very noticeable symptoms, especially in older adults. It's a nutrient where a deficiency is highly symptomatic.
Noted. Okay, number 2, vitamin D. We all know it's for bones, but how does the sunshine vitamin directly impact clarity and focus?
Well, vitamin D acts more like a hormone regulator in the body.
Yeah.
And it has receptors all throughout the brain. The studies show a really strong correlation between low vitamin D and inflammatory markers in the brain.
And chronic inflammation means chronic fog.
You got it. It also plays a key role in regulating mood hormones and nervous system health.
And the practical reality is that most of us are deficient, right? If you live in the northern hemisphere in winter or just spend all day indoors,
Your risk skyrockets, not just for cognitive decline, but for depressive symptoms related to that deficiency. It's almost impossible to correct a deficit through diet alone unless you're eating tons of fatty fish every day. For most people, targeted supplementation is really the only way.
Okay. Number 3 on the list, vitamin E, the brain cell protector. We hear the word antioxidant all the time. What does it actually do to guard our mental sharpness?
You can feel like a buzzword, I know.
Mm.
But think of it this way. Your brain uses a ton of oxygen and energy, and that process creates these highly reactive waste products called free radicals.
And these free radicals are basically like rust.
That's a perfect analogy. They cause cellular damage, what we call oxidative stress. And that rust degrades the integrity of brain cells and their ability to communicate. Vitamin E specifically provides antioxidant defense to the fatty cell membranes in the brain, mitigating that damage.
So it's protecting the physical structure.
Yes, especially for older adults concerned with staying sharp. You find it in things like almonds, sunflower seeds, avocados.
All right, let's talk about the big guns. Number 4, omega-3 fatty acids. The sources said DHA makes up nearly a quarter of the brain's fat. That's a huge number.
It is. This is the powerhouse. If you think of your brain cells as having internet connection cables, omega-3s, especially DHA, are the high-speed fiber optics. They build the literal structure of brain cell membranes, making them fluid, flexible, and efficient.
Better structure means faster, clearer thoughts.
That's the idea. And functionally, they are profound anti-inflammatories. I mean, chronic low-grade brain inflammation is the #1 enemy of mental clarity and mood. People who consistently eat sources high in omega-3s like salmon or sardines, they just perform better on cognitive tests. It's one of the first places to look if you're struggling with fog.
Moving rapidly to number 5, vitamin C, the cognitive stress fighter. I always think of it for immunity, so how is it a player in brain stress?
It's a critical one. Vitamin C is highly concentrated in the adrenal glands. When you're under chronic stress, your adrenals are working overtime producing cortisol, and they burn through vitamin C like crazy.
So supporting the adrenals helps the brain manage that stress.
Exactly. It helps maintain resilience.
Right.
Plus, it's a required cofactor in creating neurotransmitters like dopamine and serotonin, which, regulate your mood and motivation.
So if your brain is constantly under siege from deadlines or anxiety, vitamin C is part of the management team.
It is, absolutely. And finally, number 6, magnesium, the ultimate nerve and focus regulator.
This one is often called the calmer. But how does being calm translate into better memory and focus?
It's fascinating. Magnesium tackles brain fog, not by stimulation, but by relaxation and optimization. It regulates something called the NMDA receptors in your brain.
Okay, what are those?
They're basically the gatekeepers for learning and memory formation. Magnesium helps those gates open and close efficiently. If your levels are low, the gates don't work smoothly, and that leads to anxiety, poor sleep, and poor memory retention.
So the reason that low magnesium leads to fatigue is because the brain is essentially stuck in a state of low-level hyperactivity.
Precisely. By relaxing the nervous system and supporting better sleep, which is when memory consolidation happens, magnesium creates the optimal environment for learning. It's foundational.
Okay, those 6 are essential. But the sources also pointed to 2 more specialized ingredients, particularly for listeners who want that sustained focus without any jitters.
Right, L-theanine and green tea.
Let's start with L-theanine.
L-theanine is an amino acid. You find it in green tea leaves. And its superpower is that it modulates brainwave activity.
It pushes the brain toward alpha waves, right?
Exactly. Alpha waves are associated with that state of alert relaxation, like when you're meditating or you're in a state of flow. What's unique about L-theanine is it delivers that relaxed focus without making you drowsy.
And when you pair it with the natural caffeine in green tea,
You get this incredible synergy. It enhances your reaction time and concentration, giving you focused energy without the classic caffeine crash.
So green tea is basically a natural delivery system for this antioxidant-rich focus agent.
It is. But here's where we kind of hit the ceiling of the one-size-fits-all approach. We've listed 8 phenomenal brain supports, but what the research consistently showed is that general vitamin recommendations often fail because they don't account for individual differences. Your stress levels, your genetics, your sleep quality, they're all unique to you.
So my needs say a high need for B12 from poor absorption and a high need for magnesium from stress can't be met by just a generic multivitamin.
Correct. The research really indicates that the future of intelligent brain support is personalization. The need for precise, targeted dosages based on individual factors is paramount. The sources highlighted systems designed for this, citing Cenario as one example of a personalized supplement system.
What's the mechanism that makes a system like that better than just grabbing something off the shelf?
It replaces guesswork with data. Cenario, as reported in the sources, uses a science-backed questionnaire to understand your unique inputs, your stress, your sleep, your diet, your specific mental goals. And from that, they build a custom daily formula with the right ingredients at the right dosages just for you.
So it simplifies the whole process. It makes sure you're getting effective amounts of the things we've been talking about, but tailored to you, zero guesswork.
Precisely.
Yeah.
It brings precision to what can be a really chaotic process.
So what does this all mean for you, the learner, if you're planning to take action? Let's summarize the practical expectations. We've established omega-3s, B12, vitamin D, and magnesium are the pillars, maybe with some green tea. How quickly should someone expect to feel clearer?
This is where patience and consistency are key. You won't feel results overnight. The studies suggest most people who are consistent start to notice measurable improvements. Not dramatic, but steady within about 2 to 6 weeks.
And if you're severely deficient in, say, B12, you might feel it faster. But vitamin D takes longer to build up, correct?
Absolutely. Vitamin D takes time to raise those systemic levels. The key is to commit to it and not stop after just a few days.
What about combining all these? It sounds like a lot of pills to take.
They're not only safe, but often work better together. Think of it like a team. Omega-3s fix the structure, magnesium calms the system, B12 provides the energy. They support everything at once. The crucial caveat, of course, is to always check with a healthcare professional about interactions with any medications and to follow the dosage guidelines.
That's a good reminder. And did the sources mention anything about the best time of day to take some of these? A practical hack?
Yes, magnesium, because it's calming, is often best in the evening to enhance sleep. On the other hand, vitamin B12, being an energy enhancer, is best taken in the morning or early afternoon, so timing can really maximize their effectiveness.
That's incredibly helpful. So we've established supplements are powerful tools for filling those gaps, but let's zoom out to the bigger picture.
Right. While the nutrients are essential gap fillers, the research was very emphatic. They cannot work in a vacuum. For genuine long-term cognitive success, they have to be paired with 4 non-negotiable lifestyle pillars.
Which are?
Maintaining that nutrient-rich anti-inflammatory diet, staying consistently hydrated, dehydration is a massive fog contributor, exercising regularly, and the absolute non-negotiable, prioritizing restorative sleep.
So the final provocative thought for you, the learner, is this. You now have the full nutrient toolkit, the B12 for energy, the omega-3s for structure, the magnesium for calm focus. But which of those 4 foundational lifestyle pillars, diet, hydration, exercise, or sleep, is currently the weakest link in your daily routine?
Find that weakness, pair it with the targeted nutrients we discussed, and commit to optimizing it starting today. That dual approach is how you turn a foggy brain into a sharp instrument.
Thanks for tuning in to the Cenario podcast. Don't forget to visit Cenario.com for more expert tips, articles, and supplements designed to support your mental health. If you enjoyed this episode, remember to subscribe and share it with a friend. Until next time, take care of yourself.